This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning. Not a good day for triskaidekaphobiacs.
What is that again?
Fear of 13.
13, that's right. We always talk about that on Friday the 13th.
Right.
I forget about that. Triskaidekaphobia.
Wednesday? I thought it was fear of Triscuits. Gluten-free. Let's go to Josh Stone now. You knew what that was, didn't you, Josh?
I'm still trying to comprehend that, but
Yeah,
I can't even pronounce that word, what you just said. Triska something.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. It's true, though. Look it up.
I actually grew up in a building in Chicago. We had no 13th floor.
Very
10,
typical.
11, 12, 14.
That's
Very interesting. Yeah,
I guess
a
maybe
lot of buildings will skip that
The
now.
architect had that phobia, possibly.
Pretty common, yeah.
Anyway, let's check out the weather. It's a little cool outside, to say the least. A little nippy outside when you walk outside for this morning. Right now in Sarasota, let's check out the graphics. 47 degrees, it's 49 in Bradenton, Venice. 51 degrees, clear skies, nothing to show you here on the radar. That's going to be the case all day. High pressure now sliding in, and that's going to help clear out the skies. We'll have mostly sunny skies throughout the day. It's going to be about 10 degrees cooler, though, than yesterday. Yesterday, we actually topped out right at average at 74. Today, not so much, maybe around 64, 65 degrees, and that's being generous. But the weekend has a little different story in our forecast, and we'll talk about it when I return in the main weathercast. Back to you.
Intrigued. Thank you, Josh. Checking the roads right now in Manatee County. Nothing much to report. An earlier buildup on Cortez has since dissipated, so pretty clear sailing at this hour of the day. Farther south, a few blips there. First off, you see on the top of your screen there on University Parkway some problems in the westbound lane, perhaps around Whitfield or Lockwood Ridge. Also, you'll see on Fruitville westbound as you head from the interstate toward Honore. And then farther south, no real problems there. South County mostly clear at 6:02 on your Wednesday morning.
Our top story this morning, it has been one of the most contentious Senate elections in recent history. Even though candidate Roy Moore has yet to concede, we have a winner in yesterday's Alabama Senate race.
ABC's Maggie Rulli has details.
Tears of joy from supporters of Doug Jones, as overnight the Democratic nominee for Senate did the unthinkable, turn a deep red state blue.
I think that I have been waiting all my life, and now I just don't know what the hell to say.
ABC News projects Jones to win the Alabama Senate seat over Roy Moore after getting a huge wave of support from African-American voters, young people, and even from the unlikeliest of places, former lifelong Republicans.
I have felt empowered, not only as a Republican, I feel like holding my party to a better standard, but as a woman who I think is making the right choice.
The Republicans' lock on this Alabama Senate seat was upended just 34 days ago when allegations of sexual misconduct against Moore were made public, including accusations of sexual assault against two teenage girls when Moore was in his 30s.
At the end of the day, this entire race has been about dignity and respect.
Moore has denied all allegations, and while at least 19 GOP senators asked him to step aside before the election, he was backed by President Trump. On Twitter, he congratulated Jones, saying the people of Alabama are great, and the Republicans will have another shot at this seat in a very short period of time. And it may be soon. Moore says his fight is not over.
When the vote is this close, that it's not over. Wait on God and let this process play out.
But Moore's recount faces an uphill battle. The Alabama Secretary of State says it's highly unlikely that the outcome of this race will change. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Montgomery, Alabama.
A follow-up now on the failed terror attack at New York's Port Authority earlier this week. Charges have been filed against the man accused of setting off an explosive device at a bus terminal, and he is now talking to police. 27-year-old Akiyad Ullah is expected to make his first court appearance today from a hospital bed, facing 5 federal terrorism charges following the explosion caught on surveillance video right here. According to police, Ullah is the man seen detonating a homemade pipe bomb strapped to his body. That bomb only partially exploded and only seriously wounded him. His bomb was built from a 12-inch pipe, black powder, and a 9-volt battery with a wire that came from a Christmas light. Authorities say he waived his rights and gave a statement to police.
He allegedly selected the location and timing to maximize human casualties. As alleged, he also admitted that he had been inspired by ISIS to carry out his attack.
5 people suffered minor injuries, including headaches and ringing of the ears, but none were life-threatening, and all have been treated and now released. Authorities say Ullah hoped and believed that he himself would die in that attack. And in the wake of this week's attempted attack in New York, President Trump is vowing to reform immigration policy. The 27-year-old immigrant from Bangladesh, who we just spoke of, accused of setting off that bomb in New York's Times Square subway station, holds a green card. Now, a relative that is a naturalized U.S. citizen sponsored him to get it. Trump refers to people sponsoring family members to enter the U.S. as chain migration and says he will end it.
There have now been 2 terrorist attacks in New York City in recent weeks carried out by foreign nationals here on green cards. The first attacker came through the visa lottery, and the second through chain migration. We're going to end both of them. The lottery system and chain migration. We're going to end them.
President Trump has offered a legislative fix for the DACA program, which he killed in exchange for a ban on chain migration. Now, DACA, of course, allowed immigrants brought into the U.S. illegally as children to live and work here without fear of deportation. President Trump's plan to end chain migration has yet to advance through Congress.
An update now from California, where fires continue to march up the coast. It's threatening some areas that have never had fires there before. The so-called Thomas Fire is still marching up the coast and threatening communities in Santa Barbara and Ventura counties. The largest of the fires has grown to over 234,000 acres and is only 20% contained. Over 8,000 firefighters are now on the scene doing their best, but the area's steep slopes make fighting the blaze even more difficult. If there's any good news, the fire appears to be moving into the mountains, which means less population there, of course. The effort has already cost nearly $50 million and burned an area larger than New York and Boston. It is California's 5th worst wildfire in state history. For the latest on those fires and also local breaking news, update our app. iPhone users, go to the App Store and re-download it. Android users will get that update sent to their phones automatically.
New this morning, 3 Manatee County men are out of jail on bond after being booked into a Hillsborough County jail on aggravated animal cruelty charges.
They were arrested for their connection to a disturbing video of them dragging a shark behind a speeding boat this past summer. You may have seen it. Marla Spence live in the newsroom with more on these charges. Marla.
Good morning to you, Ray and Stephanie. That's right. Those 3 Manatee County men are in some hot water this morning. They're facing charges in connection to a video that went viral. Now, we want to warn you that video may seem disturbing to some. Take a look. This video was surfaced over the web in late July and went viral. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and Hillsborough County state attorneys say 3 men from the Manatee County area are seen dragging a shark behind a speeding boat. And now those men are facing charges. Now, this is 21-year-old Michael Wenzel of Palmetto, 23-year-old Spencer Hines, also of Palmetto, and 28-year-old Robert Lee Bennick of Bradenton. Each are facing 2 felony counts of aggravated animal cruelty. Now, Wenzel and Bennick also face a misdemeanor count of illegal methods of taking a shark. The charges resulted from a 4-month-long investigation into the video and other disturbing images on social media. Now, we posted this video on our Facebook page yesterday and received more than 650 comments, many of those comments applauding the fact that these men could be facing charges. Now, this morning, those 3 men are out of jail on bond after turning themselves into a local jail. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Marla. An update from Tampa. The man accused of going on a killing spree in the Seminole Heights neighborhood is now pleading not guilty. 24-year-old Howell Donaldson III was indicted last week for shooting and killing 4 people in Seminole Heights back in October and November. Donaldson was arrested after co-workers at a McDonald's tipped off police about a handgun, which police say they connected to those killings. Donaldson's next court date is January 25th. In the meantime, prosecutors will decide if they want to pursue the death penalty in that case.
In Tallahassee, there is a new push to create a crime victims' Bill of Rights amendment in the state constitution, ensuring victims have the same rights and protections as those who are accused and convicted. Some rights would include being notified of major developments in a case, any change in offender's release status, the right to be heard in court and parole hearings, and also the right to restitution.
Dignity demands that victims or loved ones of victims have the ability to be heard, and sometimes they are not afforded even that. And this cannot stand.
The Florida Constitution Revision Commission meets every 20 years and has the power to place constitutional amendments directly on next fall's ballot.
Florida has now reached its first price gouging settlement following the Hurricane Irma back in September. More than 7,500 complaints were placed with Florida's price gouging hotline after the storm, complaining about inflated prices on water, gas, hotels, and more. Attorney General Pam Bondi's office has announced a $25,000 settlement with the Miami Princess Hotel after an investigation showed that room rates increased by up to 138% in the days following Irma. The typical pre-storm rate had been $95 for a single room and $100 for a double room. Now, in addition to the settlement, Bondi has also confirmed that 10 more businesses, mostly hotels and gas stations, are also under active investigation for illegally inflating those prices following the storm. Bondi says that number is likely to increase in the coming weeks, and reaching final settlements will take some time.
We have to go back at least a month prior to the state of emergency and show that their prices were grossly inflated during a state of emergency. So unless they're going to voluntarily comply and admit that they were wrong, we have to issue subpoenas.
Customers who stayed at the Miami Princess Hotel during the time in question are eligible for a refund if they file a complaint by early January.
How about those who slept on the sales room floor here during the hurricane? Any refund here?
You're going to get a big refund. It's going to be in the form of some coffee, unlimited coffee from the break room. That's what you get.
I'll take it.
Yes.
I think we got pizza too.
Well, yeah.
Oh, pizza?
For some of us.
Yes.
I was on the air.
You got water.
It was a rugged few days for many of us.
It was, absolutely.
It was, yeah.
Yes.
How's it looking out there today, Josh?
It's looking pretty good if you like sunshine.
That's why we live here.
Exactly, but we may also get some light rain in the next day or so, so a little bit for everyone. We'll talk more about it when I come back.
Also had First Alert traffic, and we'll introduce you to one of the couples that has the most Christmas spirit you may have ever seen before. We
are going to show you the incredible arrangement and what it means to them this holiday season when we come back.
Here's a live shot of the White House. I see the light in the top right is turned on right there.
Right. Someone is already up and working at this hour. They got a lot going on there today.
Watching election returns from Alabama. We'll have more news coming up. Stay with us.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, Eye Comfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Come out and enjoy a taste of Hanukkah this Sunday, December 17th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Philippi Estate Park on 41 in Sarasota. Everyone is invited. Admission is just $5 for adults. Children are free and free parking. See the world-famous Bellonac, BMX trick stars, and more. Delicious gourmet kosher foods, music, and a 4-ton snow slide. Fun for the entire family. A taste of Hanukkah this Sunday, December 17th from 3 to 6 at Philippi Estate Park.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
All right, good morning to you. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone, in for John Scalzi on this Wednesday morning. 47 right now in Sarasota. It's 49 in Venice. It is 44 in Arcadia. So the theme here is mid to upper 40s, and lower 50 is 51 for you in Inglewood. Good morning. All right, dew point temperatures. The lower the dew point, the lower the moisture is in the atmosphere. It's 30 right now in both Pensacola and Tallahassee. 42 in Sarasota, and mind you, in the summertime, our dew points can be up into the 70s. So it just shows how dry the atmosphere is. Nothing to show you here on the radar. It's quiet thanks to high pressure now. In control of the region, really, and it's driving down those northerly winds and bringing down that dry air from the north. So we're calling for mostly sunny skies today, thanks to dry air right above us, shows up in tan on the water vapor imagery. And our future cast will remain dry today, but something changes as we have a little more cloud cover on our Thursday. Now, I think this is kind of aggressive. This is our in-house model as far as shower activity on Thursday. We'll have to monitor this. It's not going to be a severe weather situation, anything like that, but still could bring us some sprinkles. This in-house model showing a little bit more shower activity on Thursday, but I believe some of the other models I've looked at are in agreement that we could have some light showers coming in for Friday, at least the first half of our Friday. But a little change in our weather over the next couple of days, but also if you like warmer temperatures, it will actually be on the upswing, with temperatures climbing back into the low to mid to eventually upper 70s by the end of the weekend. What's not doing so great up here is in the northeast, with a weather system that's bringing some cold rain and also some heavier snow to New England, and also a clipper system coming out of Canada, and that's affecting the Midwest with some heavy snow for their forecast, along with the cooler temperatures. So 24 in Chicago, 28 Minneapolis, 15 in Detroit, 47 right now in Sarasota. Doesn't sound all that bad. Let's check out the extended outlook, and there you go. As promised, temperatures will be on the upswing as we get into the weekend, mid to upper 70s, and by next Monday, 80 degrees. Back to you.
Liking that. There's your first look. We've got a first look at your first look traffic. Let me say first look one more time in that sentence. It's so Wednesday out here today. All right, not looking too bad out there for early morning, around 6 o'clock this morning. It's not too bad. You got a little congestion there if you're coming into Palmetto and Ellington, but not too bad. And then in northern Sarasota County, again, not a huge problem there. A little bit of congestion right there on Fruitville Road if you are heading eastbound, but other than that, not too bad. University Parkway, but there is on Honore Avenue, there's a lane blocked at Florida 72 and Clark Road, so you gotta be careful about that little intersection right there. And heading down into South County, that part of the city is actually looking pretty good out there this morning.
That's our first look, huh?
That is a first look. Let me tell you one more time, that is our first look.
I got the impression.
It's your first look at 6:19.
Yes.
Do you think it's tough putting up and decorating one Christmas tree for the holidays? Yes. Well, a couple in Wisconsin goes all out decorating for the holidays. Their collection has grown so vast, it now includes dozens of Christmas trees and thousands of ornaments.
Reporter Brittany Paris got this look inside the house.
You wouldn't know it from the outside, but inside this Jefferson home, Christmas is everywhere you look.
We have about 27 or 8 trees throughout the house.
It's not the trees that Kristen Kakutschke and Greg Beck find special, but the ornaments they display.
I would say we've collected 400-ish in the last few years, each of those years.
Kristen's collection spans 2 decades, starting in 1998 when a coworker gave her an ornament as a gift.
And it kind of grew from there.
Greg took up the hobby a few years later.
They started
doing things I was interested in, like Mickey Mouse and Disney, Star Trek, Star Wars.
And now
we have about 3,000 ornaments out on display.
Each tree has a theme.
We added a Looney Tunes tree, so it's all Bugs Bunny, Tasmanian Devil.
Each ornament, a story.
Santa's right at home in Canada, a winter wonderland right next door to the North Pole.
But Kristen's favorite?
I prefer the Santa trees.
Front and center, seen from the street, this tree is festooned with 500 different Santas.
The favorite one is this series, this blue Santa and these Victorian Santas.
Greg's pick is from a galaxy far, far away.
Being a geek, I like the Star Wars and Star Trek tree.
His is even topped with a star, a Death Star that is. My personal favorite, the toy tree, complete with an operation ornament, a little Tykes car, and a working Viewmaster.
This is cool.
From the smallest of ornaments to this vintage aluminum tree, Greg and Kristen trim each Christmas tree one by one.
About 7 to 10 days to set everything up.
The ornaments are special. The trees are unique, but it's the time spent creating their Christmas wonderland that Greg and Kristen enjoy the most.
What makes them special for me, it's something that the two of us can do together.
All right, well, the couple hosts an open house for anyone who wants to stop by and check out those Star Wars ornaments, and the other ones that are on the tree around this year. They had 40 people show up. So far this year is pretty good.
Is that holiday spirit or too much stuff?
Really? I think it's holiday spirit.
I wish I could do a viewer poll right now.
Yeah.
All right.
He'll call it stuff. Holiday stuff.
6:22 right now. We're going to shift gears and go heavy now. A tragic bus fire left 2 people killed in Iowa.
That's right. We're going to tell you why investigators say this crash is raising new safety concerns all across the country. It's right after this.
Here's a peek outside our window right now from the Rosemary District. Pretty shot there at the downtown skyline. We'll have Josh's forecast and more news on the way.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order.
I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Special guest in our studio, so dress up tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll have one of the stars of A Motown Christmas from the West Coast Black Theater Troupe.
All right, sounds good. And just a reminder, if you guys have any pictures or video that you would like to see on the show, you can connect with us on Facebook or Twitter, and we want to let you know, check us out on Instagram as well. Both Ray and I do daily updates and everything. We're going to take you behind the scenes on Instagram as well. So check us out there. You can find us under ABC7 or My Suncoast.
Yeah, great tribute. 6:26 right now.
It is. A deadly school bus crash in Iowa is raising serious safety concerns.
There are concerns about why 2 victims inside the bus weren't able to escape. ABC's Candace Gibson has details.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the NTSB investigating this deadly school bus fire in Iowa.
There were people inside the bus, unable to get out.
16-year-old Megan Clint and the driver, 74-year-old Donald Hendricks, unable to escape. Megan's mother making the call to 911.
It was her child and the bus driver on the bus.
By the time the authorities arrived, nothing could save the 2 inside.
The driver and one student was unable to get off the bus.
Bus fires are not rare. We've seen plenty caught on video. There is on average 1 every day, more than 379 a year.
Get up.
But usually those on board burning buses are able to escape, leading to an average of about 1 death a year.
This is an absolute mystery. School buses are designed with safety in mind.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more on this tragedy. With your GMA First Look, Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Oats contain a soluble fiber called beta-glucan. This fiber really doesn't like cholesterol, so it shows it a thing or two, which makes Quaker Oats a delicious part of a heart-healthy diet. High five, fiber.
Fred would do anything for his daughter. Well, Fred, good thing the front of this unicorn washed the shirt with Gain. Because Gain has the scent that puts the giddy in giddy up.
Enamel is the strong, white outer layer of your tooth surface. The thing that's really important to dentists is to make sure that that enamel stays strong and resilient for a lifetime. The more that we can strengthen and reharden that tooth surface, the whiter their patient's teeth are going to be. Dentists are going to really want to recommend Pronamel Strong and Bright. It helps to strengthen and reharden the enamel. It also has stain lifting action. It's going to give their patients the protection that they need and the whiter teeth that they want.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
This holiday season, share the greatest gift of all, peace of mind. Subaru is rated the safest and most dependable automotive brand, and all Subaru models with EyeSight are a 2017 IIHS top safety pick. Now during the Subaru Share the Love event, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $219 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Every day and in so many ways, our local firefighters, police, and EMTs protect and serve our community. All of us here at Minnesota Flooring want to say thank you. On December 13th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., we will give back by giving away 500 turkeys at our Bradenton, Sarasota, and Venice location. Just bring your employee ID or proof of service. Supplies are limited to 500 turkeys. From all of us here at Minnesota Flooring, we wish you a safe and happy holiday season.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
It's time to take a road trip.
If you love the beach, Alabama's Gulf Coast has 32 miles of sugar white sand and turquoise water. Looking for a room with a view? We have them. Beachside and bayside. There's incredible history. Whoa! And the seafood is fresh from the Gulf. Another round of shrimp for my friends. Alabama has a road trip with your name on it.
Which one you gonna take?
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, more reaction to the three men now being charged in response to that shark dragging video that surfaced on social media over the summer.
Plus, a man accused of killing his mother at her Lakewood Ranch home nearly 6 years ago has been arrested in Israel. We'll tell you what other relatives are saying.
And we've got more on how the Sarasota Rotary Club will be bringing a little Christmas cheer to children in need in our area. Those stories and more right now. Welcome to Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
All right, a live look outside. It is 6:32 this morning, looking good.
Yeah, next time we peek outside,
Beautiful.
We'll see little glimpses of daylight. Right
Yes,
now, it's
we
still
will.
sort of dark out there.
Did you see the moon overnight by any chance?
I noticed it was in the
Very
eastern sky
cool.
for a change.
Yeah, it was a low moon and lit
Yeah.
from underneath. It was very cool looking this morning.
Yeah. Also cool looking. Couldn't find a better segue. Yeah. Josh Stone is here for John Scalzi. There you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
I feel cool, actually, you know.
It's chilly out there.
Yeah, a little chilly. And also looks like we also have air conditioning filtering in through the studio, so it's cool all around. Anyway, let's check out our current temperature right now. Outside, Mother Nature's air conditioning, 47 degrees, clear skies, dew point at 42, so dew point's rather low. The radar is quiet. Winds have subsided since yesterday. They were gusting over 20 miles per hour at times yesterday. Today, we'll have sustained winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Highs today climb into the low to mid 60s, and we'll have sunshine. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. There's the roads right now in Manatee County. A little buildup there on 301 southbound as you cross over State Road 70, otherwise pretty clear. Farther south, there's still an ongoing issue on Honore at Clark Road, so be aware of that. Perhaps you can take Beneva or I-75. That's pretty clear right now. Otherwise clear in the northern half of Sarasota County. Checking farther south, our final map of the day will show us mostly clear. A little buildup there, 41 southbound as you head toward Port Charlotte.
Our top story this half hour, 3 Manatee County men are out of jail on bail after being booked into a Hillsborough County jail on aggravated animal cruelty charges.
They were arrested for their connection to that disturbing video of them dragging a shark behind a speeding boat this past summer. You might have seen it. Marla Spence has seen it too. She has details of new charges now from the newsroom. Marla, good morning.
Good morning to you, Ray and Stephanie. That's right. Those 3 Manatee County men are facing charges in connection to that video that went viral this past summer. Now, we want to warn you that that video, it may be disturbing to some, and just take a look at it. It's surfaced the web in late July and went viral. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and Hillsborough County state attorneys say that the 3 men from the Manatee County area are seen dragging a shark behind a speeding boat, and now those men are facing charges. Now, this is 21-year-old Michael Wenzel of Palmetto, 23-year-old Spencer Heights, also of Palmetto, and 28-year-old Robert Lee Bennick of Bradenton. Each are facing 2 felony counts of aggravated animal cruelty. Now, Wenzel and Bennick also face a misdemeanor count of illegal method of taking a shark, and the charges resulted from a 4-month-long investigation into the video and other disturbing images on social media. Now, we also posted this story on our Facebook page and received more than 650 comments on that Facebook post, many of them applauding the fact that these men could be facing charges. So far, there's no word yet on the next step in this case, and so far those 3 men are released out of jail on bond after booking themselves into a Hillsborough jail. Back to you.
Thanks, Marla. A follow-up now to a story we told you about yesterday on Good Morning Suncoast. The city of Venice is moving ahead with plans to ban shark fishing at the city pier. Mayor John Colick says that there are too many issues being caused by some shark fishers on the pier. So the city is now considering security cameras or even a ban on chumming for sharks.
We've had cases of finning of sharks, just removing the fins and throwing the rest of the carcass in the water.
And Colick wants changes to happen after the bridge is built and we've got a new pier in place.
Also in Venice, we're learning more now about a fatal head-on collision that killed both drivers in Venice last night. A car driving southbound in the northbound lane of 41 collided with another car. The victims include 63-year-old Stephen Ponalit of Venice, who FHP says was driving in the wrong lane, and 30-year-old Shannon Anderson of Englewood. She was also killed. A 3-year-old passenger in her car was not injured. No word yet if Ponalit had been drinking.
A man accused of killing his mother at her Lakewood Ranch home nearly 6 years ago has been arrested in Israel.
Our Rick Adams went to northern Hillsborough County to get relatives' reactions.
Well, there are some new big developments in the brutal death of Ina Gross. Now her daughter is talking with us about the latest. Nearly 6 years later, an arrest has been made in the horrific stabbing death of 78-year-old Ina Gross. She was found inside the garage of her Lakewood Ranch home back in January of 2012. Her son Thomas Gross has been arrested in Israel. Gross's sister Ellen Girth strongly believes that he's guilty of murdering their mother.
A person who kills is an evil person. A person who kills their own mother is beyond evil.
Girth says Gross had killed their mother for money. This has been especially very painful for her, her husband, and all of their family members.
When you lose someone in such a tragic and brutal way, it's hard to explain the emotions that impact you every day, and the heartbreak doesn't go away.
Following the homicide, Gross had fled to Israel. He now will be extradited back to the United States, where he's expected to go on trial in Manatee County for his mother's death.
I would like to see Tom spend the rest of his life incarcerated. It will never bring my mother back, and but his incarceration is justice. Is the justice that he deserves.
Ina Gross is buried next to her husband at Sarasota National Cemetery. And Thomas Gross does remain in a prison in Israel. It's not yet known when he'll be extradited to Manatee County. Reporting from Hillsborough County, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
For the latest on local and breaking news, you can download the updated version of our app. iPhone users need to go to the App Store and download the app at WWSB or My Suncoast. Android users will have that updated automatically.
Happening today, 'tis the season to remember those who may need a little extra cheer this holiday season. The Sarasota Rotary Club will be dropping by Children First, Sarasota's Head Start provider, to spread some cheer and holiday gifts to the children in the program there. Now, many of those kids there come from very low-income families who aren't able to afford gifts this year.
Great work by the Rotary Club. We've got the Kiwanis and Sir Thomas, so many great groups out there.
A lot of philanthropy happening in this area.
It certainly is. So a little milder than the past couple days, Josh.
Yes, yeah, you got it right.
All right, then we're done with that.
And that's all we have to say about that.
But actually, things are looking very nice over the next several days. So
will we be getting up into the 70s, 80s-ish?
I think so. I think so. But today, about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. But we can handle it, you know? We can deal with it.
Not too bad.
Talk more about it in just a few minutes.
Not too bad. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your First Look traffic. And are you getting enough out of your online medical records?
We'll tell you why a new study suggests you might not be getting the answers you really need when we come back.
Hi, I'm Alan, and this is Bob from Publix Aprons Cooking School. Bob, what are you going to cook for us today, buddy?
We're going to do a nice little appetizer called sausage pasta bites. I just like the name of that.
I like it too.
That's pretty cool. What we're going to do is we're going to take Israeli couscous. If you don't know at home what that is, that's the bigger couscous. Couscous is pasta, and we're not going to go crazy into this, but the Israeli couscous is bigger, and it takes a little bit longer to cook. It's pasta. So we have the Israeli couscous here cooked. I cooked it in a little chicken stock, and then we have some of Publix Italian sausage.
Excellent.
So what we're going to do with this, and there's lots of different things you can do, but I'll show you what we're going to do with this here is we're going to take some of our couscous and some of our sausage here, all right? We'll put this in a bowl, and then some tomato sauce. Buy some, take a cooking class. We'll show you how to make your own, whatever you want to do, some tomato sauce, all right? We're going to put that in there. Now, this is can be room temperature, can be cold, can be hot, whatever you want. We're going to mix this around, and a lot of the seasoning is in the sausage, so you don't have to put all that in there. We're going to take some flat leaf Italian parsley and some basil. And now, at this point here, you could stuff mushrooms with them. You can do all kinds of different things with them. We're going to take these little pretty cool mini phyllo cups.
Okay.
Why are we doing that?
Because we can.
And that's recipe says, so
That's
I have
right.
to. All right? Now, basically, what you want to do is you stuff a whole bunch of these, all right? As many as you want, and then we're going to top it with some shaved Parmesan cheese, just like this. Now, what I did was instead of putting it hot in there, I did this, and I baked it in the oven on 350 degrees, and just served it like that. We had a little basil, a little bit more parsley on it, and it's a nice appetizer for that time of the year. A little something different. I don't know.
I love it. Starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Publix Aprons Simple Meals kiosk to pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients after sampling this incredibly delicious meal. Looks great, Bob. Thank you so much.
You are quite welcome.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain
issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye, and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation.
1-800-813-0109.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Good to see you on this Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi today, and we're starting off our day a little bit chilly, 47 here in Sarasota, but it's been a little bit cooler over the last few days, so this isn't really all that bad. It's 44 right now in Mayaca City. It's 43 in Arcadia at this hour. Dew points are low in the 30s and low 40s. In the summertime, these dew points can actually be in the 70s, so it kind of gives you an indication how dry the air is. Titan radar, quiet, nothing to show you here. High pressure will be the main feature on the weather map. It's driving down these northerly winds, and that's helping to bring that dry air from the north and also that cooler air from the north. So that's why our temperatures today for highs are actually going to be about 10 degrees cooler than they were yesterday. Yesterday we topped out at 74. Today, about 64, 65. I'll be a little bit more generous. Here's the cold front that came in last night. That's now well south of Florida. The winds that were breezy yesterday will slowly be subsiding, and then today we'll be left with about 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. Just above us, we have dry air, so that's going to help bring us the sunshine to the Suncoast today. So cooler today. It'll be warmer tomorrow. Then another cold front's coming our way for late Thursday into Friday. That will help cloud up the skies and bring us some possible light showers, but it's not going to be a big deal at all. Where they're having more shower activity, talking about a cold rain and also snow up here in New England, and also a Clipper system coming out of Canada affecting the northern Midwest here in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, and also in Michigan right now. Let's check out the forecast for the Mariners. Small craft advisory that actually will end at 7 a.m. and the winds will also subside as well, as we'll have quiet conditions. And then with the winds coming out of the west and then southwest over the next several days, look at our highs into the mid to upper 70s. By next Monday, 80 degrees. Back to you.
All right, there it is now. This is your first alert traffic. Not looking too bad out there, just the usual slowdowns. If you're headed into Manatee County, you got a little slowdown going in Ellenton right there. And then in Sarasota County, it's looking not too bad out there. There is a little situation at Honore Avenue. There's a lane blocked at State Road 72 and Clark Road, so look out for that one and just your typical slowdowns. And then in South County, that one is actually looking pretty good. Not too much going on out there, so the roads are all right this morning. In this morning's Health Smart, your medical information has never been easy for you to access. But what does it mean to you if you're not getting taking full advantage of your online information out there? Well, researchers at Baylor College of Medicine, they wanted to find out, so they surveyed nearly 100 users of those online portals. They found out that about 2/3 of the patients they talked to reported receiving no online help interpreting all of that information. They actually had to refer to about Dr. Google afterwards. They had to Google so much information just to make sense of what their test results actually meant. A reminder for patients, the best source for answers is probably your old-fashioned doctor. A quick call to their office may help you make better sense of all of that important information you find online.
All right, entertainment news now. Furious and despicable usually are negative words, but for one film studio, they mean big bucks. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
If you're gonna catch Dom, you guys are gonna work together. Surprise.
It's no surprise the fate of the Furious pushed Universal Pictures past a major milestone, $5 billion at the global box office this year. Furious accounted for $1.2 billion of that total, and Despicable Me 3 added a little over $1 billion more. It's just the second time Universal has reached $5 billion. Disney and Warner Brothers also hit that mark in recent days.
It's a very original story.
Jennifer Lawrence is headed to Iceland. At least that's the setting of her upcoming film, Burial Rites. Lawrence is set to star in the 19th century true crime drama about the last woman to be publicly executed in Iceland back in 1830. Think fans are excited for Star Wars The Last Jedi to debut this weekend? Online ticket site Fandango says the film is its top advanced ticket seller of the year and its biggest since 2015's Star Wars The Force Awakens, which went on to the biggest opening weekend of all time. We'll see if that record's still standing after this weekend. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
You're excited about that?
Yes, that's why I was doing this while that was playing. Yes, we are excited.
Curious.
Yes, just 2 more days, 2 more days.
All right, good for you. You're on your way.
That's right.
6:50 right now. Up next, your day's top news headlines and a little girl in Idaho snowboards like you've never seen before.
We're going to tell you more about why she's turning heads at the slopes and what her parents think right after this.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
The perfect musical for the holidays is live on the Players Center stage. Packed with the big band sounds from World War II, the 1940s Radio Hour is our Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy answer to the holiday blues. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. The Players Wild Broadway series wishes you a Merry Christmas with the 1940s Radio Hour.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips, and some will take you back in time to the Civil Rights Movement or even the Civil War. You boys play nice now. From Helen Keller to Hamlet. Check out these big guns. We're talking the USS Alabama. Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel.
Which one you gonna take?
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Here are some of the top stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
Sad news, both drivers were killed last night after a 63-year-old man drove in the wrong direction on US 41 in Venice. The other driver was a 30-year-old from Englewood, and she had a 3-year-old in the car. The child was not injured.
Plus, charges have now been filed against 3 men who were part of a video that surfaced on social media this summer showing a shark being dragged behind their boat.
And a man accused of killing his mother 5 years ago in Lakewood Ranch has been arrested in Israel, where he holds dual citizenship. 63-year-old Thomas Gross will be brought back to stand trial in the death of his mother, Ina Gross. Only one issue right now on the roads. Be careful around Honore and Clark Road. Some delays there. A lane is blocked. Otherwise, pretty clear as you head out this morning. Josh?
All right, a little cool outside right now in the 40s, but we'll climb up into the mid-60s. About 10 degrees cooler than yesterday, but temperatures for the weekend looking very nice, mid to upper 70s.
And finally, an Idaho girl is getting some extra attention. She's just short of her first birthday, and she's very short. Cash Rowley. Her name is Cash Rowley. Her parents bought the pint-sized snowboarder weeks before she was born, pulled her across a living room to simulate the slopes when she was even younger than that. Now the family is giving Cash lessons every chance they get.
That is very cool to get them started young. This could be an Olympic contender. We could be talking about her.
I think so too.
16 to 17 years from now.
She might make some cash someday.
And that coordination, you learn it now and it sticks around.
A lot better than me, I'll tell you that.
We're going to practice that in the studio right after this.
Can you believe that? A girl named Cash.
A girl named Cash.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
There's a peek at the Sarasota Military Academy at the corner there at 10th and Orange. Have a good day, folks.
That's right. Stick around. Good Morning America is up next.